Hi, this is Jimmy from Alcatraz, and you're watching CMS TV.
It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the classicmetalshow.com. A couple of somber tunes kicking off the show tonight to kind of celebrate Father's Day. We just heard Gotthard there with Father, Is That Enough? And we kicked the show off there with some Blackstone Cherry with Things My Father Said. And here's a guy who is an actual father, my good friend and partner, Chris Aiken. What's going on there, Chris?
I'm also quite the motherfucker as well. So,
well, you had to have 3 children.
Yeah, and there's probably a lot more than that running around in Korea.
You think so?
A lot of middle-aged Koreans, fat Koreans that look like Santa.
Well, it is the eve of Father's Day, and fathers don't get enough recognition as far as I'm concerned. So I thought I'd start the show off with a couple of tributes to fathers out there. So if you are a father, happy Father's Day, and know that you're appreciated. I don't know how many Father's Days I still have left with my own father, being he is 96 years old, but regardless, I like to salute those of you who have chose to procreate and have offspring, and I hope you're good fathers. I know Chris is, even though he comes off like a badass. But this guy who made his children carry bricks from one side of the yard to the other as a punishment.
Yeah.
I guess his kids grew up pretty well. I don't think any of them are addicted to drugs. I don't think any of them had children out of wedlock. I don't think any of them have robbed any convenience stores or anything like that. So I guess they're okay.
Yeah, never even an arrest.
Right. So there
Nothing.
You are.
And they're in their 30s now. So I guess I've done pretty okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst thing I ever had with any of them was, remember when Officer McTarian got shot, killed, 1,000 feet from my house, right up the street?
Up the street from your home, right?
Yeah. My one son and his friends, they went and hid behind the trees right up by the road there and threw rocks at people that drove by there.
For what reason?
Because of Josh getting killed. They were just mad at the world because my son knew Josh. Josh was a friend.
Okay.
So they were pissed off, and they just went up there, and anybody that was speeding along, they threw rocks at, rocks and dirt and shit. And, I got a phone call, but it was from a neighbor. So,
sure.
And I went up there, and I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Get in the fucking car.
Right.
How was that?
Right.
And that was the end of that. But, yeah, that's the worst I ever had to deal with, ever.
All right. Well, very good. Well, as far as I know, your kids are fairly prosperous on their own. They've had their share of ups and downs and bumps along the way, as most of us do. But for the most part, as far as I know, I have not read any headlines regarding Chris Aiken's children.
No, they all work. My daughter has a house. My one son is poised to take over Aiken IT. My other son is building his life, doing his thing. He's working.
Sure.
He's working hard. So best I can say, man, is, everybody has the dream when they have the kid. My kid's going to be a professional football player or a zillionaire or whatever. And you know what? That shit is crazy.
Right.
In my brain, as long as they're productive and they're not shitheads, good enough.
Right.
And so far, no shitheads. So
very good. Well, happy Father's Day to you, Mr. Aiken.
Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
So again, I don't think the fathers in this country get enough credit, or in the world rather. And for those of you who are good fathers, I salute you, and I hope you have a great day with your kids.
What are you doing? Just calling your dad tomorrow?
Yeah, I sent him a card, and I'll call him tomorrow, and that's best I can do at this point. Mm-hmm. I'm sure I'll try to get over that way, during the summer to visit, get over and visit.
Sure.
But as of today, it's just a card and a call.
Yeah, well, that's still okay. I mean, you just saw your dad too, like not
Yeah,
that long ago.
I saw him in March. I drove over and surprised him for his 96th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I tried to make that a surprise, but my sister blew the surprise. She told him, yeah, he's on his way over now.
Yeah, he's about 100 miles away.
Exactly, exactly. So anyway, it is another show here in the great land of the USA, and so glad to be back.
Yeah.
I always enjoy doing the show, and I always enjoy the fact that the chat room is already full prior to the show even starting. So that's a testament to the people who are the diehard fans, and unless it's just the company of the other CMS fans that bring everybody in. But anyway, so what's going on with you, Mr. Aiken? I know the last few weeks you really haven't had a whole lot to share. So is this week another week of nothing to share?
There's really nothing. I mean, I've just been working. I see the finish line. I literally see the finish line. It's close. And I thought I was all the way there, and then I get a call today that says, fucking system didn't charge these people for their T-shirts. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I spent half my goddamn day today trying to figure out why, if they buy this, it doesn't also add the T-shirt. So
right.
I'm close. I'm closing in on the finish line. I just got to get there.
With automation, the way that it's been for as many decades as it's been, it's surprising that it's so difficult to program a new system.
Well, what it is the system that I have that we're working with is designed for anything. I don't care what it is. If you sell it, they'll sell it.
Right.
So it has 4 million settings for every stupid thing. I mean, every stupid thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do an upsell or a cross-sell? And what's the difference? And when would you do an upsell? When would you do a cross-sell? Would you do a cross-sell with a membership but not with an admission ticket? Everything's a fucking question. And when you answer that question, then there's 10 more check boxes to check. And if you don't do them in order, then it doesn't work. So
right.
It's just a lot of shit. It is what it is. But
I get you. Well, that's just the ins and outs of doing the IT work that you do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But yeah, I was doing that this week. I was doing a lot of actual worky work this week, like IT. Hey, I need a flyer. Hey, I need this. Hey, I need my social media campaign changed. Blah blah blah. A lot of that kind of shit this week too.
Right.
So,
right. I get you.
Not a lot of fun, other than I did watch quite a bit of TV. But
okay, all right.
That's really the extent of me. I went out a few times during the week, but nothing to report. Hey, I got a sandwich at Sassy's.
Right. Wow, look at that.
By myself, by my lonesome, went in there, got a sandwich, ate, came home.
Oh, there you are. Yep.
But at least I got out. I'll take that, I guess.
Yeah, at least get some fresh air.
Because it was gorgeous all week. That's the other thing too. It was really nice this week, and I should have been outside on the outdoor office, but I just didn't this week. I was locked in and didn't want to disrupt everything to move it outside. So
right. Well, you hit me up earlier this afternoon and asked me if I'd seen the documentary, the TikTok murders.
Yes.
And as I told you, I'd watch it now, which I did. I turned it on right away and watched that.
Right.
And boy, I tell you what, as much as, well, let me just try to bring everybody in on this.
Okay.
This basically had to do with these quote unquote, these people who rise to internet fame via their TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one individual who was on the rise in the very early part of the 2000s.
Right at the pandemic time.
Yeah, during the pandemic time. And, he was a I guess, attractive guy, I guess. And he had a very hot girlfriend, girlfriend.
Boy, oh boy, she was hot too. Wasn't
Yeah.
she? Jesus.
And, a lot of people know, that people who participate in social media, they make their life look much more grand and exciting than what it really is.
Yeah.
And this was definitely the case with this couple.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, this guy allowed his internet fame to go to his head.
Right.
And he believed that he was more famous than what he was. And, I guess come with followers and things on TikTok, I guess that equates to a large income for some people. I don't know what kind of money this guy was generating from his TikTok videos and whatnot, but apparently it was enough to, live in a very nice high-rise apartment building in San Diego and afford cocaine.
He was probably doing okay, because they showed a couple of different scenes where he was doing like skits and whatnot for like Manscaped and steak companies and shit. So he was getting sponsors as well as just the play, and he was getting a shit ton of plays, which I went back and looked for his TikTok videos. I'm still, and this has nothing to do with the documentary. This is just an in general thing.
Sure.
I do not, and maybe it's just the fact that I'm old now, but I don't get it. I mean, you watched what they showed on the documentary.
Yeah,
would you ever save that guy and watch him over and over?
No, I just thought he was just a goofy guy doing impressions.
Yeah, I mean, and not that good.
Yeah, I mean, I think Anthony Cumia does way better impressions.
Yeah, I mean, this guy wasn't that good. He thought he was Al Pacino in Scarface, and he just wasn't. He looked like him a little bit.
Sure, he did the impressions, so he did impressions. I mean, so whatever. But anyway, regardless of that,
go ahead.
This guy rose to some level of TikTok fame. It must have been doing okay money wise, because, like I said, they lived in a very seemingly affluent area in San Diego, and nice apartment, and so
right
this
down
guy
the street from Eric.
Yeah.
Did you notice they showed the dock that's right there by Eric's house?
Yeah, the Strand. So but he got into the drugs and the partying and so on and so forth. But anyway, long story short, the relationship between he and his wife deteriorated.
Right.
Due to the drug use and paranoia and all the things that go along with the nonsense that goes along with social media.
Well, really due to the fact that she got popular.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like, when she all of a sudden started getting popular, because she was a hot chick on fucking TikTok.
Yeah, but she was losing interest in him because he was being abusive.
A dick. Yeah.
Yeah, basically. So as their relationship deteriorated, he was very possessive, and he's one of those guys that if I can't have her, nobody will.
Right.
Type of guys. And anyway, long story short, they end up splitting up, and he ends up ambushing her and killing her.
Right.
Shooting her and a friend.
Right.
A guy friend. I don't know that they had any romantic.
Well, they weren't banging at the time.
No, and so he was so hell bent and jealous that it was just like, she doesn't want me, so nobody can have her.
That's
and
right.
He basically killed her. Just set a trap and killed her.
That's unreal.
But here's the thing, that I personally have a great distaste for. People who are recording themselves every waking minute of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Every waking minute of the day, they got that phone running and they record every mundane thing that they do.
Yeah. From
brushing their teeth to watching a TV show to eating a piece of watermelon to they got that. They're recording themselves doing this all day long.
Yep.
And it's really bizarre to me how you because you've seen, and I'm going to tie this into the other documentary that we watched, was the girl who killed her boyfriend by running themselves into the wall.
Oh, yeah, the crash.
Yeah. Same thing. Social media driving this insanity. And that's what it is. It's insanity.
Sure.
And same thing. This girl, she was so hell-bent on her social media presence and the relationship that she had with her boyfriend that, again, he wanted to break up with her. And it was like, well, if he wants to break up with me, I'll kill both of us.
Yeah.
and literally that's what she attempted to do, but she survived it.
And took a friend that had nothing to do with nothing along.
Well, that's what happened to the girl.
Yet, or the guy in the new one.
Murder.
Yeah. He was just sitting there watching a movie. Next thing you know, he gets his head blown off.
Right. So in both cases, it's identical. Only the script is flipped. The girl is going to kill the boyfriend and kills an innocent, an innocent friend. And in this one, the guy kills the girl and kills an innocent friend.
Yeah.
Both situations almost identical. It's just the methodology of killing these people was just different.
Yeah. How crazy was this one, though, that they had all the audio of him shooting him and of him calling his mom saying he just killed his girlfriend.
Oh, but again, this is I got my recording going regardless of what I'm doing.
Yeah, it was crazy. And that killed him. That was it. You can't get out of it when you're literally on the phone going, Mom, I just killed her. You're not getting out of that one.
Right. And not only that, but the neighbor had some kind of a Ring doorbell camera or something that recorded the whole thing out in the hallway too. So, so just ridiculous. People,
I know I watched it, and the whole time I'm watching, it's 90 minutes long. It's on Peacock if anybody wants to watch it. It's called The TikTok Murders, I think. That's what it's called.
That's what it's called.
And the whole time I'm watching it, I'm sitting there mumbling to myself, this will make Neely nuts. This will make Neely crazy. Neely's going to hate this fucking thing. And that's when I got to like 5, I was like, all right, time to text Neely and tell him to watch this fucking thing. Because I knew it was going to drive you nuts.
It's just the again, it's a illness in my mind.
I agree.
It's a mental illness of somebody who is so caught up with their own image, their own, what they think is popularity, and especially the guy in the TikTok murders, denigrating and berating his wife on a live stream.
Yeah, that was weird how he went from having the pretend life where they're dancing around and, the world is great and whatever. And you know what? This is the third one of those, because remember the Chris Watts thing?
Yes.
The wife was putting every goddamn minute on Facebook.
Yep.
And trying to pretend, Chris is the greatest of all time. He's amazing, whatever. And then he stuffed the kids into a fucking oil well. There is something to. I'm a believer. I don't know if you think this or not, but I truly believe that social media addiction is the same as like crack addiction. The need for the endorphin rush from getting likes and shit is so bad. And I notice this with my friends that have a good amount of like online presence. When they don't get the amount of likes that they normally, like if they're used to getting, let's just say 100 likes on a comment or something, when they only get 50 or something, then they're always doubling down or tripling down that same day, trying to get that big one, the big rush. It's crazy how addictive this thing is to some people. And I'm not even going to say that I'm not one of them. It's one of the reasons I had to stop. It's because I couldn't get off it. I mean, you remember.
Right.
I literally could not get off Facebook. And then finally I just did. And now I'm so much better off in my life now that I'm not wasting every fucking day on social media. Ugh. Nightmare.
Well, I remember you were just absorbed with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was all I was doing. Was social media constantly and writing books. Somebody would be like, Obama's a great president. And I would write 4,000 words on why he was a piece of shit. You know, it was just nonstop. I couldn't stop, and now I can't even be bothered. Quite honestly, now I don't give a shit what anybody's doing. Oh, you're out having dinner? Good for you. Who cares? Fuck off.
Yep. Well, strangely enough, when I was watching this documentary today, a song from John Mellencamp popped into my head. It wasn't a popular song. It was just a song on his Human Wheels release from, I believe it was like 2006, somewhere around there. Anyway, prior to social media, this guy, here's some of the words. It says, Tony Jones stabbed Alice Jones on the first anniversary down in Dallas, Texas. In a small apartment with nobody present, he pulled out a knife and he stuck it to her. He left her bleeding on the floor of the kitchen with cake on her fingers and her wedding ring holding in her hand. And in her hand was a note that said, "The wicked must suffer." And he drove off quickly to his girlfriend's apartment. But the lyric that I'm looking for here is that nobody knows what's going on inside somebody's world. It says the beds are made, but there's no sheets on.
It's a good line.
Yeah. So that's what came to mind when I was thinking of that. The beds are made, but there's no sheets on. It's just like, oh, it looks like a perfectly nicely made bed.
Right.
Yeah, but there's something missing there.
That's fine.
So, yeah, just kind of weird what pops into your head.
Sure.
But yeah, I watched that documentary, and I watched that crash documentary, and just the social media driven people out there that just live for that. It's just ridiculous.
Just the number of social media, because I watch a ton of, interrogation videos and whatnot. Like that is kind of my jam, is watching people try to lie and get busted and go to jail forever because they're not smart enough to just say lawyer and be done with it.
Right.
I would say literally now, if the person is between, say, 16 and 50, at least 50% of the interrogations have something to do with something happening on social media that led to the murder. At least 50%. Whether it's so-and-so said something bad, or my chick sent a fucking picture of her tits to this guy, so I killed him, or whatever it would be.
Yeah.
It is easily 50, 60%. Easily. And that tells you how dangerous this shit is, and there ain't nothing being done about it. Nothing at all.
Well, what can you do about it?
Well, I don't know. You could license it so that you have to verify an age to use it.
Well, see, here's a slippery slope, and I'm glad you brought that up.
And I agree, it is slippery, but go ahead.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm sure that you may have heard, maybe not, that over in the UK, they're banning social media for anyone 16 years and under.
I did hear that, yeah.
Okay. Well, here's the problem with that. I mean, again, in my mind, and we just talked about fathers and so on and so forth, if we had responsible parents, raising their children and monitoring what they do and determining what they can and can't do, it's a whole different world since I was brought up. But, there were certain TV shows we were not allowed to watch, things like that. There were certain events we were not allowed to attend.
Yeah, you weren't allowed to watch Three's Company, or
we weren't allowed to watch Three's Company. We
Love American Style or any of that shit. No way.
Exactly. So stuff like that. Same thing with the social media. If a responsible parent doesn't want their child to participate in social media, and I know it's a tough fight because that's where kids live, is on the social media and the gaming platforms and all that other stuff. But there is such a thing as monitoring. If your kids are, under your roof and you're taking care of them, If you're a responsible parent, you would have to do the same thing that my parents did. It's just like, nope,
No,
that's not happening in my house.
no.
You
Well,
know?
I hear you, but
Yeah, I know it.
I blame the parents 1,000%.
Yes, of
There's
course.
not a 15-year-old kid that can afford that $1,200 iPhone that they're on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Put them on a fucking flip phone. Don't put internet on it.
Yeah.
Why does the phone have to have internet on it? Can't you just give them a phone so that they can make an emergency phone call? You could.
You could.
People are lazy. Parents
Yeah.
are lazy. And I say this started with our generation when we started with the participation trophies. And I know one doesn't seem like it equates to the other, but hear me out on this.
Okay.
Once we started doing that, we started telling the kids that they could fucking bully their way into shit. That they didn't have to try hard, that they
Right.
didn't have to work hard, that they could just show up and they would be rewarded for just showing up. And as we've gone along, that has gone into everything now. And now, 10-year-old kids with fucking iPhones, are you kidding me? These phones are 1,200 fucking bucks.
I know.
Give them a $100 phone that makes phone calls to call mom when you need a ride.
Well, well, getting back to the whole, your comment about registering and all this and that.
Mm-hmm.
So the question has arisen over in the UK. It's like, well, how are you going to monitor that? How are you going to keep these 16-year-old kids off of social media?
Mm-hmm.
So on and so forth. Well, they're just using that as a gateway into other things.
Sure.
The issue that the UK is having right now is that they are monitoring what people put on social media, and they're knocking on doors and arresting people for they're criticizing, say, like the immigration policies over there. And they're putting people in jail for that, arresting
Sure.
them, fining them, whatever the case may be. So the thing is that what they want to do is, because these are school age children, they don't want them to have an alternative source of information.
Right.
We'll give you the information you need to know.
Yeah.
So it's like an indoctrination thing. It's just like,
North
well,
Korea.
we don't want you to have an alternative source of information.
Yeah. That's why they hate
But-
Twitter. That's why they hate Twitter, because they can't control it.
Then on top of that is, once you do reach of age to use social media to prove that you're, of age to use social media, they do want you to register. And when you register and say who you are and put all your personal information in there, now they can really monitor who is saying what, where, and how, and what, that kind of a thing.
True.
It's just it's like it's always, well, it's for the children. It's for the children, but it really isn't.
No.
It's for a censorship society. And, even though they're using it as a platform to save the children, it's really to keep track of everybody along the way who are involved with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're right. I don't know that you can ban it or whatever, but I don't know. I don't know what you do. Maybe you just let everybody kill each other and we're done with fucking half the population.
I'm thinking you're probably right about that, but my stance on it. I don't like it. Never have, never participated. I always thought it was the devil from day one. And I've made that point clear on this show many times over the last decade or more. And here it is. It's just getting worse.
Yeah, it's just terrible now.
Now we got a bunch of mental midgets out there who can't function or survive without their social media presence.
Yeah. Yeah, and the worst part about it is it won't affect us necessarily, me or you. 25 years from now, these are your fucking leaders.
That is true.
These people that were raised on a fucking cell phone, dumping ice water on their head for the fucking ice cube challenge or whatever the fuck it was.
Or eating Tide Pods.
Or eating Tide Pods, and now they're your fucking commander in chief. Yeah, the world sucks.
It
Let's just
does.
I'm so glad that I got old in this time. Can you
Yeah.
imagine being 30 at this time?
Ugh.
There would just be nothing to look forward to. I would probably just rob a bank and get killed by suicide by cop,
Yeah.
because I would just have no desire to be a productive person. I would have no desire to go to the next 4 years of presidential whatever. I would have no desire for any of it. If I was young, if I was 30 years old, I'd probably be knocking off gas stations or something just to steal money and get through. Now it just blows what it is now. At least now we're old. It's like, you know what? I'm living so I can see how Dutton Ranch concludes. That's really what I'm living for anymore. It's not even, I have like no goals toward the future. I mean, honestly, you're way more proper than me.
Right.
Do you have goals? Like actual, I still need to do this
No,
before I die goals?
No, I've accumulated a lot of knowledge. I've done a lot of things. I've accomplished things that I never thought I would ever accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
Doing this show for 30 years is one of them. I had,
Sure.
when I started this show 30 years ago, I had no idea that you and I would make this show what it is today. I had no idea. I didn't even know you then.
Right.
And it's taken, it's been a very big benefit for both of us. You and I collectively, we've met some pretty cool people along the way and become friends with people that we never would have thought we'd ever meet or know.
Right.
Or become, actual friends with, not just acquaintances, people that, hey man, how's it going? It's good to see you. Hey, let's get together. That type of thing, coming into town. You want to get together for some lunch or something, that kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's been pretty cool. And
Yeah.
then, of course, meeting CMS fans over the years and, still being friends with them today. And, as far as traveling, I've traveled a lot, with, being associated with Doc, and has allowed me to travel and experience a lot of things I would have
Sure.
never just done on my own. Never.
Mm-hmm.
Been on a few cruises, obviously, traveled around the country, got to meet a bunch of cool people, that kind of stuff.
True.
So I never would have known that would allow me to do that.
Mm-hmm. No, I know, dude. I'm the same way. I mean, I look at I tell the Korea stories all the time. Why? Because it was the greatest time of my life.
Sure.
I traveled the world. I went to 30 fucking countries, 33 states. I fucked hundreds of women. I had so much fun doing that stuff. I mean, it was so much fun and traveling and being around in other countries and stuff. And now I look at it and I'm like, we're looking at the midterms. And maybe it's just that you get older and your value system changes, what you care about.
Yeah, sure.
But what I care about, I hate. I hate looking at the fucking calendar thinking, well, this could be tough on us for 2 years until the election, and J.D. Vance might not be strong enough to beat AOC or whatever. I don't think that's the case, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
get you.
those are the things I'm thinking about now. I'm not thinking about, I got to run around downtown and get some pussy in the red light district.
Where's the next chick I'm going to fuck?
Yes. Yes. Who can I gamble for pussy?
Sure.
I mean, it was so much fun back then. And there's everything that we used to enjoy has been ruined by technology and money and whatever. I've been watching a lot of baseball lately, just in general, not even just the Padres. I've been watching a lot of everything, really. Like, I just kind of turn it on and it's on. And the game now sucks. I don't know if you've watched a baseball game now.
I have. It just doesn't have the same feel.
And I was actually texting with our friend John Darlis, who's a big baseball fan.
Right.
Because I was watching one game. I think it was actually a Guardians game or something. And I'm
you
watching.
called them the Guardians.
Well, that's what they are. It's not my team. My team was the Indians, but
I'm surprised you let that word slip out of your
it
mouth.
slipped. It did slip. I might as well have asked a "What's it like?" question. I mean, it's really not my best moment here on the show.
Right.
But I'm watching, and somebody on the team is hitting 283 or something. Decent average. 280 is pretty average in my brain. And then a stat came up that he's 7th best in Major League Baseball at 283. So I texted Darlis and I was like, how can this be? And he hits me back and he explained it all out to me, and that they don't care about average anymore. It's now all about OPS and whip, wins something. And somehow there's some kind of fucking formula that says if this guy plays, then this team won 3 more games than if a like player would play. I mean, it's so fucking dumb.
Well, this goes back to the movie Moneyball.
Yes.
That's what this goes back to. This is when things started changing.
Yeah. But it's a boring game now. Now everything is a pop-out.
Yeah, it is.
A strikeout or a pop-out. Almost, you don't have any, you see so few innings where there's just hit after hit after hit, and you get 8 runs scored because everybody is hitting home run, or now everybody's either hitting home runs or flying out, and that's it. It just sucks. But that's just one sport that's been ruined. I've talked about football a bunch of times, about every time I try to watch the fucking Chiefs, I got to see Taylor Swift. And it makes that unfun. And how there's gambling channels now for the football. And, I've even tried to watch hockey, and that's like the least affected of the sports, but I just don't like the game very much. So it's like, but I mean, I lived for sports for my first 45 years of existence. Literally, I mean, dude, as long as you knew me, did you see me 10 times before the last 5 years without sports gear on?
No, I mean, you
always,
you're a diehard Browns fan.
Yeah, always had Browns gear, always had Indians gear, always. Even Cavs gear I would wear. Now it's like, I could give a shit. I don't care about any of these fucking teams. None of it's exciting. It's all, it's all garbage now.
Yeah.
That's why I'm into combat sports. At least that doesn't get changed by technology too much. Go in, beat the guy's ass, or get your ass beat. That's it. That's it. And that's what I need.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I checked out on sports probably about 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And you don't miss it, do you?
Not at all. I mean, I enjoyed it all my life. And then about 6 years ago, things started changing rapidly as far as their social consciousness is concerned, and being involved with certain organizations and having to promote different things. It's like, this got nothing to do with my baseball. This has got nothing to do with my football team. Why are you guys putting messages in the end zone? No. Why are you putting messages on the ball caps? Why are you changing your uniform just to celebrate debauchery for one day?
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
And then finding the players that don't want to celebrate man-on-man ass sex. You saw that, right?
Yes, of course. That's what I'm making reference to.
I was going to say.
Yes.
I love that some of the states are like, we're going to fucking sue you and we're going to break your antitrust and all this other shit. Like, good. Fuck them. Fuck them.
Yeah. So, well, anyway, to wind this segment down, a musician passed away this week that was kind of, near and dear to my musical taste, which was the founder and saxophonist, woodwind player for the band Chicago, Walter Parazater, passed away this week at the age of 81. He had been suffering from dementia. He he had made an announcement about 6 years ago that he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, and unfortunately, he lost his battle against it this week. And yeah, it was kind of a sad thing. So he's the first band member, Chicago band member that's passed away since Terry Kath. And, I guess you could count Laudier de Oliveira, their conga player who was in the band for about 6 or 7 years in the 70s. He passed away from a heart attack during a show, no less.
Wow.
But yeah, so Walter Parazater, rest in peace. And I looked through my old photos and I found this.
Well, let me put that on the big screen. Let me find you here. There you are. Oh, look at the hair on you. Wow. There it is.
Yep. So I've met Walt and the guys a few times over the years, and I was able to dig this picture up. That was about 30. I'm thinking that was about 32 years ago.
Right.
Yep. So I think I was a young 30-year-old at that point. Since you brought up the, what's it like to be 30 today?
Right.
Well, that's what it was like to be 30 then for me, anyway.
It was fun.
Yeah. So meeting one of my favorite, the members of one of my favorite bands was pretty cool. So anyway, just kind of brought back some memories for me, thinking about that. So rest in peace, Walter Parazater.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a big story this week. And believe me, our fans made sure I knew. Could you share this with Neely? Well, even look at the one I put on screen. Look at what it says on the top. I'm sure Neely knows.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, the fans were quick to send a bunch of DMs and whatnot. Make sure Neely knows about this.
Yep. So yeah, it was sad, but like I said, I got to meet Walter a couple of times and chatted with him for a few minutes. So certainly didn't know him. Just met him a couple of times, and just it was cool to shake a hand and get an autograph, and I'll have that until my demise.
Yeah,
so,
until your day, exactly.
Right, exactly. So anyway, just reminiscing a little bit this week about that.
It's quite a sad thing because once again the classics are dying off, literally.
Yeah, it's that era is slowly closing. We talked about that 15 years ago.
And we talked about that it was coming, and I don't think anybody, including us, really truly looked at it and were like, yeah, it's going to happen. But boy, it is happening.
Yeah, it is. So I anticipate we're going to hear more and more of that over the next few years, quite a few of them, only because that era, most of those musicians in that era are all in that age range.
Sure.
I believe Mick Jagger and is 81. Yeah,
Keith Richards is right around there too.
They're 81.
Mm-hmm.
Paul
McCartney's got to be 80 something.
Yeah, he's in his 80s.
Ringo.
Yep, him too. Isn't it amazing those guys have been around as long as they have?
They're still playing stadiums.
And they still are.
The Who as well.
Yeah, true.
True. The big three of the original big three, and they're all out there. They're all still out there playing.
It's crazy. Well, I guess the old rock and roll soothed my soul. There's something to that.
Mm-hmm.
Unless all of them made that pact with the devil,
I think that's closer to the truth.
All right. Well, I think that'll wrap up this segment. What do you think?
I'm in.
All right. Well, as always, I'm going to jump into the music here, and you guys and gals have been very cool and very diligent about putting all your music requests in the Fast Pass. And for those of you who wonder, how do you get a request on the Classic Metal Show? Well, for those of you interested in that, there is a way of doing that. We do have a support site for the Classic Metal Show. It's very cheap. It's only $4.99 a month, $5 a month.
Mm-hmm.
You can go over classicmetalshow.locals.com, sign up. You get a bunch of little perks that go along with being a supporter of the show, and one of the perks is getting a request played.
Yeah, Fast Pass.
And we have a Fast Pass there. And why is it called the Fast Pass? Because we used to take requests just by way of the email, but we wanted to reward the people who reward us and support the show. So just like at an amusement park, you pay a little extra and you get a Fast Pass to the front of the line. So that's kind of how that works. And we're going to jump into the tunes that you guys and gals have requested. And speaking of the gals, the girls are first up, that being Shelly Rocks. She wants to hear something from another one of my favorite bands, The Cult. I know Chris is not a fan.
No.
But fuck you, Chris. I like The Cult.
I guess I don't get a request then. I just have to start out with a shitty song I hate.
Well, that's not true. But go ahead. What would you like to hear?
What I would like to hear a lot more than The Cult.
Yes.
Is I would like to hear Nothing in Return from the band Down.
Okay.
From their Over the Under remaster. It just came out on Friday. If ever an album needed to be remastered, it was that one, because that one just sounded like it was recorded on a boombox. But man, they did a nice job remastering this thing, and it sounds great, and now it's worth hearing. So
it's Nothing in Return, Walk Away?
Yep.
That's the one?
That is the one.
All right. Well, we will definitely play your request here to kick these things off. So, yes, I am a Down fan. So, of all the Phil projects next to Pantera, I think Down is probably my favorite project. Yeah. I know you like his Super Joint Ritual.
I love the Super. I was listening to the Gears of Application record yesterday. Man, that's some heavy shit.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I know you're a big fan of that. I'm not so much. I think the Down stuff is more melodic.
Sure.
But, I like that stuff. So, all right. Well, here it is. This is Down with Nothing in Return, Walk Away, exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.